Hello there, and welcome to Thank the Maker, a podcast about heroes, princesses, scoundrels, hokey religions, ancient weapons, and all things Star Wars. This is Nick Gambarian.
And it's Mike Forrester, and we have from behind the curtain, producer Jason. Jason, happy Thanksgiving, buddy. It's great to see you.
Hey, good to see you guys too. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. What are we doing this Thanksgiving in the year of Qui-Gon Jinn 2025?
You know, my plans have been absolutely thwarted because I injured my back, which you guys know that, but our listeners don't. I hurt my back about, what's today, Tuesday? Last Monday. It's the most pain I've been in pertaining to my back in 20 years. I had to go to the ER on Friday just to see a doctor. And I've been trying to lay down as much as possible because it's the only thing that doesn't irritate my back. My plans were to go to Universal with Desi on Thursday on Thanksgiving. And we were going to go see that new Brendan Fraser movie, Rental Family.
Oh, sure. Cool.
But I'm going to be laying down all day on Thursday, all day on Thanksgiving. So
you went into the doctor and you were like, there's something wrong with my back. And they were like, yeah, you're old.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was working out. They were like, yeah, don't do that.
Sure.
It's
Stop.
over.
Yeah,
it is over for you,
there's
buddy.
Nothing, no improvements left.
Yeah.
And you're going to screw up your trip to Universal.
Yeah. So that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So now I'm just dealing with that. It's extremely hard to do nothing.
Sure.
You know, like actually lay down in your bed as an adult, a 45-year-old adult. Like I've been joking with some people. I'm like, what if I was actually a real adult? What if I had a job? What would I be doing right now?
Oh, man.
I'm lucky that I'm not a real person.
Jason, what do we do when that happens?
You still got to go to work, dude. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. When I had my accident last summer, I was back in the office on Monday. It happened on a Saturday. I was back in the office on Monday, and someone was like, I got up to go look at something, and I was like wincing, and they were like, "Oh, long weekend." I was like, "Yeah, I have 7 broken ribs, and I'm properly messed up." And they were like, "Oh," I was like, "Well, what am I going to do? Sit at home?"
Yeah.
I can be up, right? Let's do this. Jason, what about you? What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, I mean, unlike you, I'm hoping to enjoy the beautiful weather that we have here in Southern California.
Dang, rub it in.
No, man, it's going to be good. Hanging out with family, going to be over at sister-in-law's house. A few friends as well. Going to see my nieces and hang out with the pets. And yeah, it'll be great. It'll be cool.
Love all of that. Well, I think generally at this time every year, I get at least 1 or 2 text messages from TNT or some Spike or wherever, some channel is running
TV.
a Star Wars marathon. And I always get a couple people who text me and say, "Hey man, either I'm thinking of you because Star Wars, or like, hey, you know what? I'm rewatching this movie. It's not, a lot of suddenly after a couple of years, Force Awakens. I don't know why I was so mad about this. This is actually a pretty good movie." I'm like, oh, well. Have I got a podcast for you?
Right. Well, too late. You already drove the final nail in the coffin 9 years ago when you said you hated it.
No,
too late.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was just thinking about that too. I was hoping that I would get to see some Star Wars films on television. There's something so nostalgic about seeing them with commercial breaks.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Especially now seeing sequel films, like watching TLJ.
Right.
And then, here's a commercial for Tide. It feels it gives it a different vibe
100%.
in a good way. It feels really sort of warm and wholesome, and it gives you those vibes. It's cool.
Yeah. And I think this year was always like, growing up, you remember specifically seeing toy commercials.
Yeah.
And the excitement for being like, I wonder what Star Wars toys I need to put on my list to get them in a month. That was a big thing. So I think for a lot of people, the season is upon us for starting to spread holiday cheer, which is fantastic. But I always like this episode because we always kind of get to go through and reflect on the year of not only for our podcast, but also for Star Wars as a whole, and all the things that we may or may not have gotten to. But we got a list of awesome things that happened in this year, some of which I can't even believe are in this year.
Yeah. We're in that zone of our lifetime where everything feels like it was
just
10
one
years
big-
ago, but
yeah.
also 1 month ago.
Exactly.
You know, like both
Right.
things are true.
Right.
Yeah, time is a complete illusion. I put together this
Clearly.
list, and it was like, oh yeah, Skeleton Crew
Right.
had its finale this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something definitely to be thankful for.
Well, I think too, for people, retrospectively looking back, Jason, your life got completely upended
It's
this
true.
year,
Mhm.
right? And grateful for your ability to be able to be nimble and really too. I mean, whenever we see, for us, for people who are like, oh, I'm new here, Jason was an Altadena resident, and the fires completely displaced you and your family, and having both the frustration of seeing this thing roll out in live time, and then ultimately, like, running into not being able to come to Star Wars Celebration with us, like all of these things, like it felt very heavy at the beginning of the year, for a lot of reasons. But like I am grateful for your resilience, and to see, it's always reminds me that this community is always like, when people are like, hey, I'm not even asking for help, and I'm just putting my situation out there. People are like, what can we do? How can we help?
Yeah. LA Strikes Back, that was this year, right?
Yeah, it sure was.
So-
Absolutely. And yeah, for as much, upheaval as I was had to endure this year. I mean, 2025 is no picnic for a lot of folks as well. I mean, one of the things consistently that I'm always going to be thankful for, especially this year, is you guys, and and of course Adam and Ryan as well. And the rest of our Discord, this whole community. I mean, people really did reach out, and
Yeah.
I had always been, even before joining TTM, on the staff here as in an official capacity. It was always very impressive to see the community that you've engendered amongst a bunch of really great folks.
Yeah.
And that's always something to be thankful for sure. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think from I always have my little emo time at some point whenever we get people together. And I think part of it, like, and I said it to Nick, and he always kind of gives me a little side hug. He's like, yep, it's great, isn't it? It's great, because we're standing here with like Gabe and all these people that we've like run into, watching Ryan play, watching Bad Religion with Nick, which has been a thing that we've been trying to do for years at this point. And then, meeting up with Dano after, and all these things, like we're just very, it's a surreal thing. Some friends of mine were able to run into the guy's story of the year in Detroit last night. And I'm like, man, now my college friends are like meeting up with them. And I'm like, look at all like these worlds are just colliding. And it's really like, at this point in my life, being like, these are the people I want to be hanging with. And the way that we're doing it is like, it's so wholesome, because everyone is just kind of trying to be the version that they're not trying to be. It's just who they are at this point. I feel like for so much of our early careers, young 20s, we're trying to still figure that out. And to despite Nick's back absolutely falling apart,
Oh my God.
his terrible, soft, shitty body, we're trying so hard to just like really spend more time together, and say yes to more experiences, because we don't know who's not going to be able to be there next time. And it's an amazing thing. So I think despite a what we think in our minds is a relatively sleepy year, we've been talking about this among Star Wars, there has actually been a ton of things when we look back on it. So I feel like if we read through this list, people are equally going to scratch their head and go, that was this year? It was. It really was. So, Nick,
Yellow.
run this list, baby. Run this thing.
Did we figure? So did Skeleton Crew start in 2024?
Correct.
Okay, so I wonder how many episodes Skeleton Crew had in 2025. But either way, we're counting that.
Yep.
Skeleton Crew at the top. We had Star Wars Tales of the Underworld.
Yeah.
We had, of course, Andor Season 2. Pretty recently, we had Star Wars Visions Volume 3. We did have the Lego Rebuild the Galaxy also, right? That came out.
Yep. Volume 2. Second.
And then we got a couple of teasers and trailers for Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah. And a new poster that just dropped today, which is
Yeah.
kind of exciting.
We went to go see, what did we see the other day at the movies? Wicked. We saw
yeah.
Wicked, and there's just a giant, like, cardboard cutout
Cut out, yeah.
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're really rolling with that font choice, man.
It's
There's no
Western,
going back, yeah.
That's really it. That wasn't just like this is a fun online thing. That is
it. That's the word, Mark.
Oh boy.
Put it on the t-shirt.
Could I, I know we're positive and stuff here, but I can't believe that's what they're rolling with.
We can tell he's been laying in bed. He's been thinking about this long. And also the fact that we went to Japan, as I said for Jason, we were so regretful to understand that it was probably the right call to not go, but we got to go to Japan. I got to go to Japan for the first time. Nick, I think it's also your first time.
Yep.
And we got to experience a Star Wars celebration abroad for me, and then to be able to just experience Japan, which was insane.
Life-changing.
Life-changing. Yeah. And you're already trying to figure out how to go back because I think
of course,
that impactful. Jason, you've been before?
No, never been to Japan.
Okay.
Been to different parts of Asia a few times, but never Japan. And yeah, Nick, samesies. We got it on the list, so we're gonna try to get there as soon as possible.
Nice. But we had a killer Mosh Isley in both we had one in Orlando, we had one in Las Vegas, and we had one in San Diego. And San Diego was awesome. I mean, just the vibe was high. The amount of people that were able to come out for it, it was great. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that community and how well those events continue to now at this point be like, it's about the hang, it's about the party. And again, it's our third year selling out, which seems crazy to me. But it only seems like it's growing. So we're grateful for our Mosh crew. But then the announcement for the projects that came up, Star Wars Starfighter, which seems like at this point we are getting new news nearly every week on this project, despite it being even further back, a whole year of Mando Grogu. We got Maul Shadow Lord announced at Star Wars Celebration, which I have a feeling we're going to get closer and closer to seeing maybe another trailer of that or something along those lines. I don't know. I got a feeling. Star Wars Visions presents the 9th Jedi. And then we also know that Ahsoka season 2 is coming out. So
I wonder what is going to get focused on at Celebration 2027, right? That's what it is. So it's like, there's a lot of stuff. I guess there's not a lot of stuff that we know of that would be focused on that. I mean, that's 2 years away. I guess we shouldn't really talk about that.
Yeah. Besides celebrating the 50th anniversary of the original at that point, although I guess at that point, if they're going to put it in theaters, it would probably be have been out for like a month before that, right?
Well, I thought it was supposed to be. It's currently slated for like end of or middle of May, or I'm sorry, I thought it was like early June.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so it would be going towards that, and then Starfighters in May. So
that I'm sorry, I meant Starfighter.
Oh, Starfighter.
Mando Grogu is third week of May.
Yeah.
So what are we?
Regardless, I think in my head I was thinking Celebration was.
You're talking about the Celebration next year.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be. I think Celebration, already looking ahead, is going to be all about the cultural impact of Star Wars. I think it's going to be reminding people Star Wars is amazing. Did anyone get a chance to see any of these ILM? Or I'm sorry, not ILM. The Imagineering shorts that they're putting on YouTube now?
No, I haven't seen.
Yeah, I just did see the latest one.
Yeah. And what did you think?
I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing. I mean, they were able to. I guess the big drops were kind of showing that new Olaf animatronic, which is bonkers. I mean, it looks so real. And then a couple more breadcrumbs for how Smuggler's Run is going to change for the opening of Mando and Grogu. And it was neat. I thought that they didn't really give us any new content, but what we did get to see was like some behind the scenes sort of cast member only views of the pods and how they work and how they turn and are articulated on those giant, hydraulic gimbals. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I think from that standpoint, excitement, I think, for Mando Grogu is going to also be part of, we cannot discount the excitement that's going to be in the park too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it is a full experience that they're trying to give, not only in the movie theater to celebrate Star Wars being back in the theater since 2019, but also the fact that, like, the world, I mean, I'm curious if this is going to be the opportunity for Batuu to possibly
Like,
aim or
come
look
on,
at
you know?
getting reskinned, you know, like this at this point, Batuu will next year will be what?
Yeah.
It opened in 2018 or
2019.
19. Yeah.
So, you know, you're
I
talking.
mean, it's just got to be in the movie too. Like, come on. Like,
Right.
how do you, unless they're ditching any sort of canon, which it seems like it's getting less and less canon-y, Batuu.
Right.
Like, how do you explain Mandalorian?
Yeah.
And I assume Grogu are going to be in the Millennium Falcon in the ride in Disneyland and Disney
Right.
World.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you explain that without Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon being in
Yeah.
the movie
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
potentially in Batuu? You
Yeah.
know,
And-
like, come on.
And
Just do it.
because it's already been announced that this new overlay, this new, you know, version of this ride
Yeah.
is coming or is being launched day
The
and
day
date.
Yeah.
The same
Yeah.
day. So they got, I mean, you know, that
Right.
seems like a no-brainer. And
Right.
I don't know, maybe this is a hot take. Maybe we need to do an episode on this. But I'm kind of coming around to the idea of breaking this canon
Sure,
timeline
yeah.
that they've sort of backed themselves into. I mean, I mean, look, I've got a Vimerati cosplay, you know. I mean, I'm all in. I got it. I mean, Star Cruiser was great, but yeah, man, maybe it'll be cool to see Luke and Vader and everybody else there too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm open to it. I'm open to it.
It was, I will say that we had the 501st had Trooper Fest last couple weeks ago at in Orlando, and they were able to get super early in the morning. They got to be there at 5 a.m. for sunrise, and they get it before the land starts.
Mhm.
And to see Darth Vader stand in front of the Millennium Falcon in Batuu
Yeah.
was pretty dang cool.
It was cool.
You know, and but then at the same time, I'm like, yeah, Mando Grogu, bring the OT stormtroopers back in. Let's do this. Okay, cool. And then as soon as Starfighter comes out, I'm like, what are these old stormtroopers doing here? Get the First Order back in there. I want to see him race a TIE Echelon.
Oh man.
I mean, who knows what could happen? So I think looking back on this, there's a lot of excitement for what we have coming up, and I think, you know, what were highlights, at least among that list, for both of you personally. Jason, let you go first. What was your top Star Wars thing in 2025?
The thing that I'm the most thankful for, well, for me, I think that it's actually split between Skeleton Crew and Andor, and I'll kind of dig down on that. The thing about Skeleton Crew, I thought it was a wonderful feeling series. It felt great. It was really fun to watch. The thing that I'm thankful for is that they were able to empower filmmakers to do something new that didn't necessarily have to fit into an established timeline.
Right.
And I thought it was successful.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of points us towards the direction that Starfighter could be going, which is
Sure.
the thing that I'm most looking forward to coming up.
Yeah.
But I'm most thankful for Andor season 2, and it's crazy for me to say this out loud, but it might be my favorite Star Wars thing ever.
Sure.
It's
That's
so
not
good.
crazy.
I love it. I love it so much. So
That's
very
not-
thankful for that one.
That's not crazy. Nick, how about you? What's your
You know, I feel like we're going to go 3 for 3 here because Skeleton Crew and Andor are definitely tops. But I'll go more specific and say, especially in Skeleton Crew, the idea of mid-century modern homes in Star Wars lives rent-free in my brain forever. Like that, when I saw all of their homes, all the inside of all their homes, I knew the rest of my life was going to be a failure because I was not going to be able to live in those.
Sure.
No matter what I do.
Right.
My life will never be complete because I can't live in mid-century modern Star Wars homes.
Sure. Right. And my heart does break for you in that. I will see if I can get you Neil's dad, the St. Pauli girl with the girl blue. I will see if I can get you that for your garage. That also, maybe we can make that happen.
Yeah. But Andor season 2, you know, like, I mean, I've personally found, and not necessarily in a negative way, I've personally found a lot of series going back to like Mando season 3 not as rewatchable as things used to be.
Yeah.
Andor season 2, especially the last like 1.5 arcs, I would say. I watched those a ton because it was the best Star Wars for sure. You know, like there's room for a lot of different things, fun Star Wars, serious Star Wars, but the craftsmanship of Andor in general, but that last arc and a half was just so good that it kind of even though it felt different than Star Wars that would give me chills,
Sure.
it still gave me chills because
Yeah.
it was just so good. And that was just quite the accomplishment.
I'm with you on that. I think the reason that I can't say that Andor season 2 was the clear highlight for me is because it's almost like my expectations for how amazing the show was going to be were set already by the movie, the Andor movie. I think we refer to it as Rogue One. But knowing how amazing season 1 was, season 2 absolutely delivered, but in the sense that it's almost like I think if we would have released it at a different time, would it maybe have felt as powerful as we all felt it, because it was really surreal going out and seeing at protests and people kind of making their own, civil discourse, using language that had just been dropped in an episode of Andor. Like, I have friends everywhere. I saw that sign everywhere, right? And it's one of those things where I go, it was a beautiful, it will look back and be like, it's one of it maybe arguably, to Jason's point, maybe one of the best Star Wars media pieces. But it was almost like too timely in some sense that I wish that like Star Wars, like Skeleton Crew still gave me that escapism that I was looking for. And I know, again, that is the benefit of being able to have enough privilege to look for escapism. And so on that side of things, I'm grateful that Skeleton Crew, to your point, Nick, was able to fit into a timeline without messing with the timeline that we're also worried about constantly. How does this happen? Because I feel like the excitement that we have for where this little band of pirates on the eve of, as we're recording this, the eve of Stranger Things, which actually I think came out 42 minutes ago. What are
Pretty
we doing
sure,
here,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
but it's one of those shows where I heard someone say like, I don't think it should be classified as like a kid's show anymore, because we grew up with them. We grew up with the story. It's actually kind of almost Harry Potter-esque in some ways, where, at the beginning it was like, oh, this is a thing for kids, but then gets into very dark themes. And I felt like Skeleton Crew was still in that season 1, maybe season 2 level of danger and terror and lightheartedness. But I would love to see where the same crew could pick up a couple of years later. Now that the stakes are a little bit higher, it opened up a whole world of Ad Atten and the banking system and all those things. I'm like, man, give me more of that. So I'm geeked on Skeleton Crew personally. Andor season 2, amazing. Again, I regretfully rewatch it, thinking of the lack of progress that we've made. But certainly, in some way, I mean, in the Mando Grogu trailer, we got to see it at Celebration. It was so exciting to see. And then, of course, having Sam Witwer come out and do the play it again for Darth Maul was just amazing to see.
So cool.
And just being in a room, I feel like Celebration, similar to how it feels about Mos Eisley, be in a room with all those people who are excited about Star Wars, gets you to the next one. You know what I mean? Gives you enough battery to get you to the next one. So these are tops for me personally. So yeah, it's good.
Right on. Well, we reached out to patrons as well. Speaking of celebration there and the feels that you guys got to feel with thousands of people all in one spot celebrating a single thing. I unfortunately had to stay at home, but I got some folks to sort of commiserate with here.
Sure.
Natasha, who is Amaranth on Discord, she said, "I'm grateful for CouchCon 2025." She says, "I've been a Star Wars fan my whole life and a member of the fan community for half a decade, but I'd never followed the going-ons at Celebration, and it was fun to watch the interviews and panels on the live stream. But what made the event memorable was experiencing it in real time with the folks here on the TTM Discord and also on the Force Center Discord. Good
Oh,
friends
yeah.
at Force Center as well.
Yeah.
We love them. When you've been out of the workforce for a long time, it can be difficult to find a sense of group purpose or camaraderie. But for those few days, I felt it again.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks,
That's
Natasha.
awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, I knew the frustration immediately was Japan. It's far away, it's expensive, and it was all of those things. But of course, like it should, if you're able to, this is where you listen to Thank the Maker. Whenever you listen to it in the end of year 2025, and now start saving $30 a week to stave up so that you can go to Los Angeles in 2027, because like I think this one is going to be so special because it is all encompassing exactly why we are still doing a podcast about Star Wars 50 years after it came out. And speaking so passionately about it as if it just came out, because it's still given us all of these amazing stories that have had multiple people jump on, jump off, get on the carousel, dive right in, all of these things. And so, Natasha, I hope you're able to go. I hope you're able to come hang. It's going to be awesome. It's a little bit more accessible than Japan. You don't need a passport. You just need a will and a way.
Real ID.
And a real
passport.
and a real ID. Exactly. So yeah, I hope you're able to make it. But yeah, there is something cool about like there's definitely been celebrations or events that I'm not able to make it to. That at this point now, like I love like New York Comic Con. I was bummed to miss that, but like our friends over the Dad Batch were crushing it with the Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
and I was like, they are having so much fun. I love this. I love this for them.
We got another message in here that's celebration focused. This one's from our buddy, Physics Buddy Joe.
Hello there. This is Physics Buddy Joe again. I am the most thankful for you guys assembling this group of people that has made the last 2 Star Wars celebrations 1,000 times better than it would have been with me going by myself. We were all there to support each other and stand in line and get each other coffee, and it's been so much fun ever since the original Mosh in Anaheim, getting to know everybody and always having a friendly face to be able to hang out with while we're celebrating Star Wars. May the Force be with you.
How wholesome is that?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it really even goes back to, I mean, he mentioned the original Mosh at Chain Reaction in Anaheim, but that was, you know, shortly after kind of COVID we were coming out of it.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that like we got to walk around a convention and people be like, "Thank the Maker, what's up?" You know, like it's a really cool feeling. I know we've talked about it between me, Adam, and Ryan, like the fact that people recognized us from Thank the Maker and mentioned that first besides our band, you know, that was cool. But it's kind of just only that sentiment has only gotten bigger whenever we go to conventions and stuff like that, which is great because
That's awesome.
You know, it's just something, the community is something that was there. I guess it just didn't have a focus, and we're one of the podcasts and one of the groups of people who get to focus on like, yeah, we all kind of come from the same, cut from the same cloth, and we like Star Wars, you know, it's cool to kind of have a home base for those type of people. And I'm sure there's even more out there. We just got to find them. If the firewall from Zuckerberg firewall ever comes down.
Sure.
You know, I've spoken to some other people about this in the past, but you know, I think about that Celebration 22 in Anaheim and that first Mosh, and thinking back, all of the people that were there at one time, and at that time, I knew maybe 10, 20% of them, and now I know all these people. I wish that I could go back and experience that again, knowing all these people, right? And, you know, I think that that's the opportunity that we have for Los Angeles coming up. I think there's going to be, all the homies are going to be there.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
Great.
We're going to give each other COVID 27 again. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. Let's see. We've got, Sarah, what's up, Juicebox from our Discord, who is a longtime member, and she was at Celebration this year, which is really cool because we had our little Think Maker crew that was hanging in the lobby, and things that we learned, right? That like Japan is not a, they're not lobby drinking kind of people, as we discovered, because we are lobby drinking kind of people, and so that was really fun. But she said, I'm definitely thankful for the opportunity to travel across the world to Tokyo earlier this year and see so many friends within the Star Wars community at Disneyland and Celebration. Honestly, such a surreal experience. The idea of so many people connecting so deeply over these films and shows and then sharing these incredible experiences together. I've made some of the most authentic connections via this community and will forever be grateful to everyone involved. Boom. That's what it's all about right there.
Love it.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Sarah's awesome. And kind of along the lines, because I know she was hanging with Joe a lot. This sense of just knowing that, again, kind of like what I was saying, just being yourself at this point, Celebration is such a wonderful way to literally strike up a conversation with anybody in front of you, behind you, while you're standing in line, because there's a good chance that you could say, so is Jar Jar Binks going to be in the Darth Maul? And everyone turns around, they're like, wait a minute, and it's one of those few times in life where you feel like I'm actually with my people, like wholly with my people, right? And Sarah has been an incredible asset to our Discord, and has just been a wonderful person to be able to connect with. And Jason, to your point, like these are people we're going to weddings for now.
That's true. Hey,
right?
Speaking of which, I was at somebody's wedding earlier this year with a bunch of other Thank the Maker patrons. Our buddy Kevin, we heard from him.
What's up, y'all? It's Kevin Doom. I'll likely be echoing a lot of what other people say, but honestly, it's true. It's all true. What I'm grateful for with relation to Star Wars in 2025 and really always is community. The community and friends I've encountered through the shared love of Star Wars storytelling has been nothing less than magical. This community has been here through seriously the biggest events in my lifetime, good and bad, some happening just within the past year. I'll never forget the times we share, and I look forward to the times ahead. May the Force be with y'all. Doom, over and out.
May the Force be with y'all.
Yeah.
I just made Kevin drive across the San Diego Empire to pick up a snowboard for me. So,
wow.
If it lets you know exactly how deep the friendships run at this
really.
point, is awesome. But no, I think from that perspective, what you continue to hear is like it. I don't know, Nick, do you find this as someone who is constantly on the road, and Jason, you're in an office just like me for the most part. Is it hard to make friends as an adult?
I mean, yeah, no matter what, it's for sure. I've lived out here almost a decade now, and I'm glad I've met a lot of people, but like I moved out here when I was 36, and I would say, a very small handful of people am I close with out here, but it does go back to, it's all community based, it's hockey based and kind of like emo punk hardcore based, and they're all relatively in my age group, which is good. But it's I can only imagine it being harder than ever to make a friend as an adult, because things are, I don't know, maybe it's easier, but my point was going to be that like there's so many bubbles, there's so many like niches that maybe you could find that niche and actually hang out with people. But I just think it's harder as an adult because I want to go to bed at 9:30 every night.
Sure,
yes. I don't want to spend my entire night at a show. If I want to go to a show, unfortunately, I'm not like following what I preach. I'm going right before the headliner, and I'm going to watch the headliner, and then I'm leaving. Meanwhile, I'm telling people to show up and watch the opener for
watch all 4 openers if we have them. Every single one.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just like anything else. It could go either way, but I think it's got to be pretty hard to make adult friends at this point. At least I would say it's probably easy to make acquaintances. It's probably really hard to make like meaningful, like deep relationship friends.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd agree with you with that. And especially that second part. And I feel like there are folks that I've met through this podcast, which is crazy to hear actually come out of my mouth that are going to be lifelong friends for sure. I mean, folks that made a super deep connection with, and that's great. You were talking about when you came to California. This is a total aside. I had to look at my calendar here. tomorrow, well, it'll be the day that this podcast comes out, November 27th, is my 20th year as a Californian.
Wow.
20 years. Yeah, crazy. That's one of
great.
the time dilation things. It simultaneously feels like, my entire life and also last week.
Yeah.
Sure. Right.
Yeah,
But I
which
can
is,
still hear the yinzer in you, Jason. So
it's
don't
never going to
worry.
go, man. Yeah.
And I think, as we were all adults 5 years ago, but I feel like I'm a better adult now. And a lot of that is because of people that I've met since starting my weird little shop. That's kind of going to take a hiatus for the next however long here, but I'm incredibly grateful for that, and to hear this being kind of a familiar theme within not just our Discord, but just the Star Wars community as a whole. I think that's awesome. So we got one more here, I think, by our dear friend Julia.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Julia. And one thing, and I will say this every year and every time someone asks me, that I'm really grateful for with Star Wars is the community that it brought me. Be it through this podcast, be it through the 501st Legion, or generally just friends that I've gained and connections that I've made through the fandom. And I'm talking about the good side of the fandom. And I'm really grateful for everything Star Wars and the people that I connected with have done, especially this year.
That is a true statement if I've ever heard one, in terms of opportunity, saying yes to things, and also like putting in work to see the flowers that you have planted really not only just grow but blossom, in my opinion. Julia is one of those people who has really like lived this fandom to the fullest, and to all of those accomplishments and her tireless energy to make every community that she's in better, and she holds us accountable. She's without a doubt one of the spiciest members in our Discord. She's awesome for it. But there's times where she'll point at me and be like, you said that, don't screw that up. I'm like, yes. Oh my goodness. Absolutely.
German wit. And
100%.
a special congratulations to her. This morning, I heard that she felt her first earthquake after becoming a Californian.
Wow.
Congratulations to
you. It's right. Yeah. Welcome to the shit show.
I wonder if I'm going to make it I might make it a decade without feeling one. Which is crazy, right? Because there has been like some earthquakes down here. I've just not been home during them. I'm like, the only earthquake I've ever felt in California was when we were recording our 4th record called Shutter in Santa Monica. And I was driving a car near the Beverly Center. I don't know what we were doing over there that day, but we were at a stoplight and an earthquake hit. And everyone else in the car was like, what are you doing? They thought I was like pumping the brakes to like, move the car. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not doing anything. And like, I kind of felt it a little bit, but it didn't cross my mind there was an earthquake. And we're East Coasters, so we had our windows down, which is like not really a thing people do in California.
Sure.
We had our windows down, and we heard somehow the next car over also had their windows down, and they were like, oh, that was an earthquake. And I turned around and I'm like, yo, that was an earthquake. And we go to the Beverly Center and they had evacuated, and, just precautionary. There was nothing went on.
Yeah,
so I've actually not experienced, I have experienced a California earthquake, but not since I've lived here.
Okay.
Wild, man.
2026 has a lot in store.
Hey, man, it's your year. We're
right.
We're gonna get Mando and Grogu and your first earthquake.
100%.
All right.
Man, I believe in it.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's get back to the festivities. Let's get back to all the things that we've got to do. Dudes, I am grateful for you. We talked to Adam earlier, who is on a mid-tour break. They played Detroit last night, and Ryan was on his way to his family's, and he said, as in true fashion, once you get off tour, you immediately get sick, and everyone else in your house also gets sick. So I was like, welcome home, buddy. You're doing great. So those guys also give their love and their wishes for a forceful year, and we will be back again very soon. Dudes, I appreciate you immensely. I'm looking forward to the next time we get to hang.
Appreciate you guys as well. Very much so. Thankful for it.
All right. Well, you can Mosh Isley tickets are on sale now over in Chicago. Orlando is coming. We figured that there's plenty of reasons for you to spend your money elsewhere, but when Mosh comes around, we need you to be there. We've got two independent shows. We've got Orlando and Chicago. It's our first time in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, tell us a little bit about the Bottom Lounge, because I know
Bottom Lounge is a place, well, it's a very nice small venue. We played there a couple of years ago.
Yep.
When we were doing a run of kind of smaller little venues. It's great. They got a great kind of bar area in the front that we'll be able to do Cantina Hour at.
Yep.
And it's very intimate. It's going to feel more like the first Mosh ever.
Yeah.
The first one at Chain Reaction. It's going to feel like, which is definitely fun. Chicago's great. Can't wait to hang out with everyone there. And we can't forget to mention too, we have a Mosh Isley Black Friday sale going on right now. And
whoa, say the pun. The pun. It's a good one.
Oh, the Black Chrysanta.
Yes.
So shout out to Dano for coming up with that fun idea. But it's kind of wild if you ask me. 15% off of everything. Let's start there. Okay. If you spend $35 with that 15% off, you get a free sticker and patch set. If you spend more than $50, you still get 15% off, and you get a free mystery t-shirt. So we've had a couple of orders. We only announced this a couple of hours ago. We've got a couple of orders come in already. So yeah, don't wait until March to pick up some Mosh Isley merch. We got it for you, including the 2 new items we debuted at San Diego, and our most popular shirt, our Darth Maul Misfits shirt. That's fully stocked right now. So if you want that, it's pretty awesome.
That was just a Danzig reference. All right, sweet. Well, Mosh Isley, check it out. And then everyone else, we'll see you again next week. We should be back to our regularly scheduled programming. Probably without Adam, though, because I think he's going to be somewhere deep in the bowels of the country. Somewhere. So we'll get back to you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And of course, may the force be with you.
Thank the Maker is produced by Adam Russell and Jason Chiodo and edited by Jason Chiodo. If you enjoy the podcast, you can support us by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Or you can support us directly at patreon.com/thankthemakerpod, where you can get access to our Discord server, exclusive content, exclusive merch, and more. Our patrons literally make Thank the Maker possible.